Good morning. Welcome to First Church Unitarian on this sunny, chilly fall day. Isn't it great to enjoy the warmth of our newly installed heating system in the sanctuary this morning? My name is Peter Ersland, and I serve as a member of the Standing Committee, on the Music Committee, and also as a member of the Mixed Choir. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm an older, white-haired gentleman, well, not always a gentleman, I guess, of modest height. Your morning announcements, we'll just highlight a couple of things in the Community Matters. First, something that's not in the Community Matters. This evening is Men's Group Sunday. They'll meet at 7 p.m., and if you have any questions, you can see Jim Barasano, who's standing in the back. Just a couple of things I'll bring out from the Community Matters. You all have the written copy. Read it and contact the people listed if you have any questions. First, Lori Locasio has asked us to lift up the book discussion that will be held on held on Tuesday. I know Tuesday isn't November 2nd, but I believe it is actually Tuesday. The times here say 8 to 9:30. What Lori told us was 7 to 9. So if you have questions and you plan or interested in participating, please give her a call or send her an email message. Her email is listed in the Community Matters. The second thing I'd like to lift up is that Artemis is starting again after this morning's service at 11:30, and they would love to have,
It's the first and third Sunday, but this is the fifth Sunday, so no Artemis.
Ah, okay.
Please repeat for people at home.
Yes, so the listing in the Community Matters apparently is wrong, as Anna has let us know. It will be on the first and third Sundays of each month, starting next month. So starting next week, rather than October 30th. But please do consider joining Artemis. They're a great group of people, and would love to have you sing with them. And then just finally, I'll mention again that we are always looking for people to serve the hospitality roles. So if you haven't signed up already, this is a great time to do so. Check to see what's needed and put your name in. And as we prepare for our worship service, I would ask you to please silence your phones and enjoy the Prelude.
Just before the Prelude, I'm Thea. I'm the DRE. I'm short, long hair, and I'm wearing Starry Night. This announcement is for the children and their parents. The children are going to get to sit over in the corner today, since we're up here the whole time. There's lots of things to do, but I just want to remind the children of our covenant, which is respect, kindness, and that means we need to be quiet. But there's plenty to do there. And then please pay attention, because you will be asked to participate, and there will be a story and a video. So you want to pay attention. Okay? Thank you.
build on foundations we did not lay. We warm ourselves at fires we did not light. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from wells we did not dig. We profit from persons we did not know. We are forever bound in community. Good morning, I'm the Reverend Jackie Clement, and with these words from Peter Rabel, I add my own welcome to Peter's as we gather this morning at First Church Unitarian. I was extremely fortunate to find this faith community about 32 years ago, and it has been my spiritual home ever since. Whether you're here in the sanctuary or joining us online this morning, I hope that you too can feel the warmth of this community surrounding you. If you're new to Unitarian Universalism or to this church in particular, I invite you to check out our website or to talk with any of us after the service. This is a community that strives to live out an ethic of inclusion. So in that spirit, I share that I use she, her pronouns. I am an older Latina with light skin, short spiky hair, and purple glasses that complement my purple clerical stole. I am standing in the pulpit at the front of the sanctuary, and in front of the pulpit is something we don't usually have here in the sanctuary, an ofrenda. An altar covered with colorful fabric and flowers and fruits of the season and candles. A place where we will gather the mementos of our ancestors and our beloveds who we have lost to death. This can be an emotional process. So if you find that you need support following the service today, I invite you to reach out to me, to our minister, Laura Hoke, or to our lay pastoral minister for the morning, who is Carol Tillis. Where is Carol? Carol is away. Call any of the lay pastoral ministers if you can't reach me or Laura. As part of our remembering, we will be singing Fuente de Amor, Spirit of Life, in the Spanish translation. So I'd like to line through the words at this time. It's in your order of service, and there's also a slide. And everyone has it but me. So we've sung this before, so we won't take much time. We'll go through it pretty quickly, but repeat after me. Remembering that Spanish is pronounced differently all over the world, so if your pronunciation is not quite like the person next to you's, you just have a Littleton accent. Please repeat. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí, y al corazón, cántale tu compasión. Sopla al volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arráigame. I can hear my grandmother's voice when I say that. Libérame. Fuente de amor. Ven a mí, ven a mí. Awesome. We're going to do great. Let us begin our time of honoring those we love by lighting our chalice. Zachary and Henry will light our chalice, and I invite you to say the words of covenant printed in your order of service and displayed on the screen. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Awesome job, guys. Our opening song this morning is number 1051 in the teal hymnal, We Are.
Okay. Promise you will forgive my Spanish pronunciation. I speak English not all that great, no. So you see. So, Day of the Dead by Tony Johnston and Jeanette Winter. Above a small town in Mexico, the sun rises like a marigold. There it is. A soft sound comes from the warm kitchen. Slap, slap, slap. The children hear it and wake up. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Mama is making empanadas, little pastries fat with meat. The children crowd around. Una probadita, a taste. Wait, says Mama, esperense. Till when? Soon. For weeks the family has been preparing for this day. Los tios, the uncles, have picked fruit. Bright oranges, red apples, trejotes of gold. The children have tried to sneak the fruit. Wait, says Lotitos, esperense. Till when? Soon. For days, las titas, the aunts, have been grinding dry chilies to powder. The children have been sniffing the chili powder and sneezing. Wait, says la titas. Achoo, says the children sneeze. For days, Papa has been visiting the bakery, bringing back bulging bundles. The children have tried to sneak a peek at what's hidden in there. Papa says, wait, wait, wait. For days, Mama has been baking pan de los muertos, bread of the dead. The children have tried to sneak a peek. Pan de los muertos to eat? No una miga, they ask. No, Mama says, not a crumb. For nights, all the family has been making tamales for the day. The children have tried to sneak tamales to eat. Esperense. Today, Papa has cut up long wands of cana, sugar cane. The children try to sneak the cane pieces to suck the sweetness out. Wait! Today, Los Tios brewing the sauce of chocolate and chili, a mole. They put chicken in, stirring again. The children try to sneak the mole, just a taste. Esperense, the stirring aunts say. The children come from the market with loads of marigolds. In every room bloom marigold bouquets like glowing suns. Night has come. The family gathers all the things they have made for this day, and they go out into the night. Families from all the houses come carrying all the things they have made, carrying marigolds bright as suns and candles like stars. The little procession goes walking through the street, walking over the hill, walking to the graveyard where their loved ones lie. They go dropping a little path of petals for the spirits to find their way. And here they are, walking and walking. I'm waiting for them to catch up. And walking and coming in. The family comes to the graves of los abuelos, the grandparents. There they place salt and water in small bowls, and they place all the things they have made. They sing and they dance. And they remember los abuelos. Must we still wait? Ask the children. No, says Mama. Eat, eat, eat. Papa unwraps his bundles. Calaveras de azúcar, sugar skulls. The children squeal and eat this treat. Mama slices pan de los muertos. Everyone tastes the sweet bread. One child bites, and he finds a tiny, skinny skeleton Mama baked inside. Now it's late. The family gathers what is left of all the things they have brought. They gather platters, jugs, and jars. They gather their sleeping children. Upon the graves they leave the marigolds. Then they go walking home, carrying candles like stars. The end.
Cuando yo muero, quiero tus manos en mis ojos.
When I die, I want your hands upon my eyes.
Quiero la luz y el trigo de tus manos amadas.
I want the light and the wheat of your beloved hands.
Pasar una vez más sobre mi su frescura.
To pass their freshness over me one more time.
Sentir la suavidad que cambió mi destino.
I want to feel the gentleness that changed my destiny.
Quiero que vivas mientras yo, dormido, te espero.
I want you to live while I wait for you asleep.
Quiero que tus oídos sigan oyendo el viento.
I want your ears to still hear the wind.
Que huelas el aroma del mar que amamos juntos.
I want you to smell the scent of the sea we both loved.
Y que sigas pisando la arena que pisamos.
And to continue walking on the sand we walked on.
Quiero que lo que amo siga vivo.
I want all that I love to keep on living.
Y a ti te amé y canté sobre todas las cosas.
And you, whom I loved and sang above all things.
Por eso sigue tú floreciendo, florida.
To keep flowering into full bloom.
Para que alcances todo lo que mi amor te ordena.
So that you can touch all that my love provides you.
Para que se pase mi sombra por tu pelo.
So that my shadow may pass over your hair.
Para que así conozcan la razón de mi canto.
So that all may know the reason for my song.
Tus manos
It's like Dumbledore said to Harry Potter, to have been loved so deeply, even though the person who loves us is gone, will give us some protection forever. And that is what Day of the Dead, El Día de los Muertos, is all about. The breath of the ancestors, the breath of tradition, the breath of love that protects us. It's a Mexican holiday celebrating life and honoring the dead. Actually, it's Los Días, 2 days, the first day honoring children, and the second adults. Tied in Mexican Catholicism to All Saints and All Souls Days, the Day of the Dead is based on an ancient celebration somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 years old. The story that Thea just shared with us told us about the many ways that El Día is celebrated in Mexico, actually in one part of Mexico, because the traditions vary widely across the country. But it is in public with processions, visits to the graves of the ancestors, with music and dancing and fireworks, and with ofrendas, altars like that we have built before us, covered with colorful flowers and sweet sugar skulls, bright candles, fruit, and bread. But no matter how it is celebrated, the Day of the Dead reminds us that death and life are one. Because they occur at the same time of year, we can confuse the Day of the Dead with Halloween, but they are very different holidays. Halloween is based on the idea of a clear line between life and death. Day of the Dead on the idea that life and death are one. As journalist Dana Joseph writes, the difference between Halloween and Day of the Dead is like, well, between life and death. While Halloween comes from a medieval European concept of death as punishment, a scary night populated by demons, the Day of the Dead offers a positive view of death and even finds humor there, which is nothing like a bag full of Mars bars. The Day of the Dead does not offer treats to the spirits so that they will go away. It offers the things our ancestors loved so that they will return to be with us one more and enjoy the things that they loved in life. It's easy for us to see this as some quaint notion of a superstitious and primitive religion. But don't let that blind you to the power and the profound insight of a culture that knew how to embrace the cycles of life and death. Our culture in the United States has inherited a fear of death as something gruesome, terrifying. We don't like to think about our own mortality. We've become a secular society that has lost the rituals of mourning, which are the rituals of healing. But while we have lost the means to cope with the grief, we have not lost the grief. This is why I believe we see heaps of flowers and photos and trinkets at the sites of accidents, sites where people have died, at crashes, temporary fences around the World Trade Center and the Oklahoma City Federal Building, where rituals do not help us to mourn. Mourning will find a way. When we do not gather in community to remember, private grief grieves alone. Our society tells people they have to be done grieving in 7 days, and then back to school or work. Certainly past the first anniversary, we have lost all patience. It is time to get on with it. But grief does not heal on a time schedule. It is not beholding to a calendar. The ancient culture that gave rise to the Day of the Dead believed that the soul went on a journey for 4 years after death, returning each year to refill their provisions for the trip. They returned to know that they were still remembered. They returned to watch over those they had left behind. And we, the living, we need our connection to them. As former UUA President Peter Morales writes, a Mexican boy spending the night at his uncle's grave has a connection across time with his forebears that our children do not. While we, dwellers in a technological age, have connected to the World Wide Web, cell phones, and cable TV, we have message machines, voicemail, and call waiting, but we have cut ourselves off from the web of time. Traditional cultures with their mediums and ghosts and reincarnations have understood intuitively something that we've repressed. The dead don't die, they live on. I'm not speaking metaphysically or theologically. I'm talking about the very real stuff of memory, history, and molecular biology. Look in a mirror. The DNA of your ancestors is alive in you. Look at your children and grandchildren and see yourself and your ancestors. Think of the decisions made by your parents and grandparents. Their choices shaped your life. And the choices we make every day shape the lives of those yet to come. The interconnections stretch across time. Today is a day for remembering. We come not simply to mimic a Latinx tradition, but to draw from its wisdom. There is sadness in our loss, but there is happiness too as we celebrate the lives of those we have loved and know that love lives on long after death. Harry Potter's parents knew it, and Dumbledore knew it too. To have been loved so deeply, even though the person who loved us is gone, will give us some protection forever. It's easy to remember on this day as much as any all the wonderful friends who have come before us, those who have sat in these pews and done the work of this church, those whose legacy we carry on. This is our church. We do the work. I invite your generosity as we carry on that legacy, as we make real the connection between the dreams and hopes of the past and the dreams and hopes we hold for the future. If you are joining us online today, I invite you to visit our website at fculittle.org, where you'll find opportunities to give, or you may send a check here to the church office. Our morning offering will now be received with great gratitude. May all that you bring and give to this community be gathered in with great appreciation. Please join me in words displayed on the screen as we offer our appreciation for your generosity. We are grateful for the opportunity to give and serve, and grateful for the gifts we have received. May this affirm the ministries of our church community, both within and beyond these walls. The words of Emily Dickinson. Death sets a thing significant. The eye had hurried by. Accept a perished creature, entreat us tenderly to ponder little workmanships in crayon or in wool, with "'Tis was last," her fingers did, industrious, until the thimble weighed too heavy and the stitches stopped themselves. And then 'twasn't, but 'twas put among the dust upon the closet shelves. A book I have a friend gave, whose pencil here and there had notched the places that pleased him. At rest his fingers are. Now when I read not, for interrupting tears obliterate the etchings, too costly for repair. Things do become significant, not of themselves, but from their association with those who loved them and who we love. Today we share some of the things made significant by memories of those who are no longer with us. I invite you now to join in the tradition of remembrance and honor. Let us call upon memories of loved ones as we come forward to place our mementos on the ofrenda, our altar of celebration and honor, and speak the names of those we remember, those who touched our lives and remain in our hearts, though they remain no longer with us physically. Some small polished stones are available in a bowl if you did not bring a memento or a photo with you today, but have somebody that you would like to honor. If you are on Zoom, please raise a digital hand and we will call on you. We will place a stone on the altar and you may speak the name of your beloved.
Can you hear me? There it is. I begin with the handkerchief of my grandmother, Margarita Rodriguez y Cabang. I used to make doll clothes out of her handkerchiefs when I was a little girl, and she never complained.
MK.
Yes, I should have said that our pets are very special to us. So if you would like to remember a pet, please come forward and tell us about them.
I brought a picture of my mother and father, who have both died, from when I was little, even though they were divorced when I was 11. But since they both passed, every once in a while I remember them together, and this is a great picture. And I just want to remember my husband's mother, Frida, and my dog, Lucky.
Francis Pillman, Jim Pillman, Janice Carline, Ralph Carline.
My parents, Bob and Catherine Ersland.
My dad, Carl.
I drew a picture of Luna, the guinea pig, who was a squeal of delight. Pat Hadley.
I brought mine up earlier. My parents, Leonard and Joan.
A penny in remembrance of my parents. My dad had a saying, when you found a penny, an angel was thinking of you.
My parents, Jim and Vi Courtney, and I placed a photo that my father commissioned my brother to take on the occasion of their 75th wedding anniversary when my mother was 94 and my father was 97.
My son Eric Barosano and my mom Jean Barosano.
This is for my parents, Peter and Stefania Bizak, who came to this country after the Second World War from Ukraine to start a new life, and they were amazing parents.
It's for my sister, Betsy, who was really my sister.
My parents, James and Evelyn, and my sister Barbara Ann, and Brother James.
My stepbrother Brian.
My parents, Tony and Stan, and my father-in-law, Carl Britton, Sr.
My parents, Diane and Leonard Price.
To my friend, neighbor, and mentor for many years, Leslie Dunbar.
To my parents, Bill and Dee, and all the ancestors, and also especially to David Malpignano.
My brother Diplo, who died a year and a half ago.
My friend from high school, David Mitchell, and my brother, Raymond Lewis.
My cat, Skokie. My Nana.
Okay, I thought we'd have more room. I've got my mom and dad, Nick and Dolly, and then my mom and stepdad, Dolly and Ed, and one of our dogs, Winnie.
The pictures are of a dog, Lucy, Pam's stepdad, Ed, and his companion in the end of his life, Caroline, and my mother and her husband, Pauline.
Three of my great-grandmas and all of my great-grandpas. My great Henry.
My grandma and grandpa, Dickinson.
and Anthony, my stepdad.
My cousin Timmy Crawford, and this is of my parents, Lou and Rosemary Colombo. My niece and nephew are in it. They're still very much alive.
My mom, Anita Vartanian, my dad, Vartan, and Luann's mom, Rosemary, are here.
Would anyone like the microphone brought to them? Are there any online hands raised?
Rochelle, please unmute.
My mom, Anna Lee Chambliss.
Hang on, that's me. That's me. Hang on. Please go again.
My mom, Anna Lee Chambliss, and all my fur babies.
Jan?
My parents, Charles Benton and Catherine Benton.
Lara Hook?
My stepson, Adam Joshua, and my father, Richard Hoke.
Sarah Cope?
My parents, Harvey and Stella Cope, my beloved aunts, Naomi and Aura, and all of my beloved familiars who have owned me, Shanti, Mitsu, Isis, Willow, Valerie, and Lokana.
Karen?
My parents, William Tucker, and my mom, Caroline Tucker, and the most wonderful dog in the whole world, Coco.
Daria? Dara? You're off.
My grandmother, Edith Hedrick, my father, Chester Earl Gleason Jr., and my brother, Chester Earl Gleason III, who died when he was 9. We called him Chipper because he was a chip off the old block, and we miss him very much.
Andy?
Yes, could you, this is for Adam. I miss you, buddy.
Patty?
My father, Louis Sardella, and my dog, Toby.
If you've spoken, you can lower your hands now. Thank you. Is there anyone else? If you raise a physical hand or a digital hand, I'll see you. All right, thank you.
Please join me in the spirit of prayer and contemplation. Force that animates all life, life-craft, spirit of life. As we gather here before the mementos of loved ones lost, let our hearts hold gratitude for all we have received. Let our minds hold understanding for all that is ours now to do. Let our souls be filled with compassion for all the struggles born, whether with grace or with ill humor. Let our lives be filled with joy for having known such as they were. We remember today those named and those many more whose names are not spoken aloud, but whom we cherish nonetheless for that. We would not be spared the consciousness of sorrow and loss. As our experience deepens, may our understanding of one another deepen also. And may we win from our joys and our sorrows the wisdom of patience and sympathy, the courage to live faithfully, and the confidence that dark hours may have precious meanings. And may we gain a deepened sense of the sacredness and worth of all life well lived. May we join together in singing our hymn, Fuente de Amor. They cannot wholly pass away, how far soe'er above, nor we, the lingerers, wholly stay apart from what we love. For spirits in eternity, as shadows in the sun, reach backward into time as we, like lifted clouds, reach on. We share now a video that shows the story of one little girl's celebration of Dia de los Muertos, created by the Ringling College of Art and Design, and I'm sure the children especially want to watch the screen for this one. That calls for a parade. Everyone who has worn their Halloween costumes today, or anyone who would like to be in a parade, or anyone who wore their special festival clothes for today, I think we should have a parade down the middle aisle. Please join Thea for our parade. Thank you. That was awesome. Here then is the lesson we must learn as we stand in awe before the presence of death. Whatever it is that made them dear to us, their hopes, their noble intentions, their dreams, we ought to make real for others. Our highest tribute to them is that we shall stand ready to live now, helping to fulfill their hopes and bring to reality their longings. This is the honor we would do them. This is the memorial we would build. Please join with me in the words for extinguishing our chalice as posted on the screens or in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.